All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 76. Today on the show, Trans Day of Visibility came and went. We're going to show you what the trans people wanted us to see. Then Nike goes full twink after signing Dylan Mulvaney to a sports bra ad. Then after that, a progressive tech CEO was murdered in San Francisco. We'll tell you what happened there. And last but not least, we have possibly the most unhinged housekeeping we've ever done. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 76, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Grabboy. Guys, do you feel like the world's kind of falling apart? The powers that be are starting military conflicts and distracting us with things that aren't really important. And one of those important things is being prepared. That's why we've teamed up with My Patriot Supply. They are offering $200 off of a 3-month food supply at mypatriotsupply.com. They're charging you less so you can save more. Guys, now more than ever, it's so important to be prepared. How bad would it be to find out that you need an emergency food supply that you didn't have? Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it, is what I always say. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and get the $200 discount on a 3-month food supply. Get a bunch of them, as many as you need, and tell them Fleccas sent you. Thank you to My Patriot Supply for supporting the show, and make sure you guys go support them right back. All right, let's get into housekeeping. That was great.
Yeah, 1 for 1. True.
All right, welcome to housekeeping. Hope everyone's doing well. Richard, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Excited for a schizo housekeeping.
Yeah, we have like 4 pages of housekeeping.
Great.
And I've been busy. All right, heart attacks and blood clots this week, nothing. Nothing really came across my desk. I didn't really see anything, so there's nothing this week.
Yeah, I saw Stanford is quietly like just not requiring the vaccine anymore. No explanation, no nothing. Haven't heard of many new variants, right? Remember when there was a new variant every quarter? Mm-hmm. Haven't heard anything. I think the elites are done with it.
Yeah.
It's the Andy meme. I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah, it seems to have run its course.
You served your purpose. You know, we did the greatest wealth transfer. We printed all the money.
We got people in office we wanted to get in office.
Through mail-in votes. Yeah, it's done. And, you know, we'll bring it back. We'll ramp it back up if we need it.
That was a good heist.
Good hustle for them.
That was a really, really good heist.
They really psyoped everybody.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Mm-hmm.
They probably are doing a victory lap in their little secret meetings.
They're drinking champagne. Like, I know. We did it. We alienated everybody.
Yeah, we did it. We took all the money and we changed the world. And all right, we have some doppelgangers. I know we quit last week on doppelgangers, but there's a couple that came across my desk that I really couldn't ignore. There's this first one of Richard Grabboy, just this picture. And then, so this one looks just like him.
Some sort of skinny version.
Yeah, that's like your after picture if you did the right thing.
Yeah, if I finally got my life right.
Get some Ozempic in you.
I wouldn't want to be that skinny, though. That skinny's too
neck
low.
is not enough neck.
Exactly.
And then this next one, this Domino's pizza guy. We had to include this because I wore the Domino's outfit.
This is Colton.
Comes in.
Yeah.
Well, that couldn't be you either because he pops his shirt and the girls are cheering.
Yeah, I know. And then here, that's not even this. It's not even this. Yeah, Colton's shredded. And then watch this. Here's the move when you really know it's not me. Worm.
Oh, yeah.
The worm, the tight pants. And then watch this. The full backflip. That's how you really know it's not me. So good one.
Yeah.
Nice try, but obviously not me.
That's the Magic Mike version of you.
Yeah, I will take more attractive doppelgangers, though. I'm never turning down like a guy who's slightly better. So
that's a nice change because usually you get humiliated, or I get humiliated with the doppelgangers.
Yeah, it's all
that's
pigs.
why I snuck these in so you couldn't sneak any pigs in and say it was me. All right. Also, quick point. I know you guys like the doppelgangers. We love the doppelgangers too. If you send me the bearded Greta Thunberg doppelganger for Ratboy, you're exposing yourself as a podcast misser.
I'm actually getting a lot of those for you as well. We covered this 3 weeks ago. This was 2 weeks ago. So it does expose.
So if you have a recommendation for doppelgangers, you best not miss, or else you expose yourself as a podcast misser. All right, let's keep going. Trump got arrested. He's in jail now.
Yeah, he's behind bars.
Yeah, Trump got arrested. Obviously, it's all a sham. Who cares? It's all fake and nothing. But there was some silver lining to the whole thing. We won the shirt contest.
Yeah, we did.
Everyone knew there might be a mugshot, there might not be, but there was definitely a merch opportunity. Everyone knew that. Trump released a shirt himself, probably sold a bunch. Good for him. That being said, we won the contest. We made art. Free Big Don. These two versions, incredible.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Richard Rapway did a great job. We worked on it together, but he really went above and beyond. And now, yeah, they're available on fleccasmerch.com. Get them while you still can. Free Big Don. It's a culture piece.
Yeah, my favorite is the three-face
Yeah.
blue lightning schizo design, like cornrows. I love that shit.
Pretty schizo.
And then I said I missed an opportunity to do a similar kind of shirt for like Snarf Snarf O'Banion. I wanted to do one in that style, but that ship has kind of sailed. So
It's like an urban style, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
We're going to do more shirts like that. But get yours while you still can. Fleccasmerch.com is the site. They're very popular. Sold a bunch of them. I think you guys want to have these forever.
Yeah.
You'll never forget what happened. Also, with this whole Trump being arrested thing, and we spoke about this a few weeks ago with Karine Jean-Pierre, how she's like a stupid diversity hire and she's in way over her skis and is like lying for the regime's crimes.
Yep.
That's the same with Alvin Bragg.
100%.
That DA. Everyone says, "Oh, he went to Harvard Law," and it's like that's the proof. Like he's a diversity hire. He gets into Harvard Law, and now he's the DA. And it's like if he was a smart person, he would say, "Hey, I'm abusing the law here. This isn't right. I'm not going to do this." So clearly, he's stupid. And then if he's stupid and he got into Harvard Law and is now the DA of New York, you're kind of seeing how they use their like pawns. They're useful. They're idiots. They're useful idiots.
Yeah. Kim Fox would be an example of that too in Chicago.
Yep.
The Jussie Smollett DA.
Exactly. So they have their diversity hires. They push them through the institutions. They get them into a position of power. And then they're too stupid to even realize what they're doing. And then they just lie and do crimes for the regime.
Yeah. And then I think Cernovich, I'll outsource my legal opinion to Cernovich a little bit as a lawyer. And he said that the indictment had like the same point copied and pasted 34 counts.
34 times.
34 times just with the dates changed on when he did something to cover like, and the whole point is the crimes in service of a crime escalated these from misdemeanors to felonies. And the crime is trying to keep yourself to looking good for the election.
Yeah.
So that's the crime. I don't think we've ever seen a politician suppress a story or sign an NDA or pay anyone hush money before. So Alvin Bragg was right.
Yeah. So Alvin Bragg did that. But it's like if you were a real Harvard Law person, you go, "Oh, there's nothing here. We're fabricating this. If we put this out, this is like we lose our license for this. This is like stupid and there's no case."
Yeah, and especially in the legal world, like it's always precedent. Like this happened, like, and then this case got settled, and that created a precedent. And it's like Alvin Bragg is being the dumb guy who's like, let's just indict a former president. First time, see how it goes. Yeah. So it's the same thing. There's no precedent for it. It's purely politically motivated, and they made it a show.
Yeah, they made it a show, and they're not stopping, and they don't care that we notice. Harvard Law. So basically, we got rug pulled.
Yeah.
Us Ivy Leaguers got rug pulled. There used to be a time where you say, "Oh, I went to Princeton, I went to Yale, I went to Harvard, I went to Columbia, I went to Dartmouth. Oh, wow, I went to Cornell. Whoa, you went to Cornell? Rug pull. It doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
All the idiots got in. Now it's all just BLM school."
Exactly, and you paid the high price, and you're losing the prestige now. So it's like you got double rug pulled.
Sorry to my parents.
Yeah, 100%.
My degree doesn't matter anymore, and I might like burn it on fire for a YouTube bit. All right, moving on. We have really important stuff to get to. This is a very important housekeeping. It's our most unhinged housekeeping yet, and not for any reason that you've seen so far. It's coming. I went to the dog park the other day. I asked the guy, "What's your dog's name?" And he goes, "Honeybean."
Yeah.
Like, I'm not calling the dog that.
Yeah.
No other points there. I just want to get that out there. I'm not saying that. I'm not calling the dog Honeybee.
Yeah, I'm not engaging in whatever role play stupid shit you have going on with your dog.
All right, let's get into some of the shout outs. We had people shout out the show. This guy kicked over the rocks and shouted out the show.
For Fleccas! Not today, hippie.
And some people might be saying, "Oh, don't kick that over. They marked the trails for the hiking." Yeah, behind the Home Depot at the shopping center.
Yeah.
There's no trails there.
Yeah, near the underpass. Come on.
Yeah, everyone knows where they're at. All right. And then also, you know how we always complain about record holders and how they're stupid records?
Yeah, of
And
course.
then people like get records for like fastest marathon in a...
While running in a jumpsuit upside down.
Yeah.
And it's just like these little segmentations that make it a record. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
watching it closely.
We're watching it closely. We have a shout out from an actual world record holder. The woman with the world's largest lips shouted out the podcast.
Hello, I'm Andrei Ivanova. I have the world's largest lips, and you're watching Fleccas Talks, the podcast.
So as you can see, I've been busy.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good.
I've been busy. And that's not even the good stuff.
Okay, what else have you been up to?
We're going to be fully unhinged in just a few minutes. We're getting to it. Before we continue on, just make sure you guys leave a comment to tickle the algorithm, juice the algo, tickle the post. We need some help. Every time you guys comment tickle, tickle, or juice the algo, it gives us more comments, it helps the algo, and it helps our episode perform. So
Yeah.
juice the algo, please. Leave us a tickle.
It's honestly huge, and it brightens my day to see all the people who just comment tickle, tickle.
Me too.
So it shows that the soldiers are strong. The army is growing. You
It's
know?
good show lore, too.
Exactly.
All right, moving on. The calcium in the bones.
Yeah.
I saw this.
Yeah, it says CNN headline, the calcium in our bones and teeth likely came from stars exploding in supernovas and scattering this mineral across the universe in massive quantities, according to a new study.
Oh, new study. So star blew up, and now it goes in my teeth. Does that ring true to you?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Stars blew up, and it goes in my bones now?
Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't really ring true to me.
Yeah.
All right, there is a...
I have no opinion, really. Like, I'll just let you do your schizo and
Yeah, well, the star blew up, and now you could chew Uber Eats.
doubt.
That doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like I was made and created by like an engineer, like a really smart engineer, not blown up. And now I have my bones fell into place. Whew, that was lucky. Whew. All right, Caitlin Clark and then the other girl. There was some controversy
Angel
there.
Reese from
Angel
LSU.
Reese, LSU versus what, Iowa?
It's the first time I've ever seen anybody talk about women's basketball like this, so I guess that's a sign. Yeah.
Yeah, congrats, ladies. You're doing it. Get involved in some Conor McGregor style drama.
But again,
people will watch.
Yeah, exactly. But again, the ESPN vultures and black people everywhere started saying how it was racist to treat them differently.
Yeah.
Because Caitlin Clark did like a thing like this where she kind of hit a three, and she played on Iowa, which is like a mostly white girls team. This other girl, Angel Reese, played on LSU, which is majority black. And Caitlin Clark was like hitting a three and then turning to her bench and doing this, like, you know, a little bit of showboating, a little bit of like in the moment, like, you know, shit like that. And then Angel Reese came. And, you know, if I'm Angel Reese, I don't like the attention that Caitlin Clark is getting. She was getting so much social media stuff. Like highlight reels, all this cool stuff, because she was like the MVP basically of the tournament. And then Angel Reese didn't like this, and LSU ended up beating Iowa in the national championship pretty big. And so she was doing a lot of like mocking stuff, like doing this and then like pointing ring on her finger and stuff.
Yeah.
But as we saw, she was like chasing her around the court, like doing this, like it would be like.
Yeah. That's the big difference.
So there was a difference, and then the black sports commentator community pretended like there was literally no difference.
Yeah, exactly. There is no difference. And now everyone, exactly. There's no difference is the key thing. And there was a big difference.
The clock was like winding down and with 11 seconds left, and the star player of the national championship team was following around a girl and doing this. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
That's the difference. It's like if you're in the game, you're talking trash, that's fine. I'm a big trash talker. I always have been. Football in college, I talked a lot of trash. That was part of my my attitude and my lore. Happy to do it. It's a good thing. I'm fine with trash talking. But when the game's over, you turn it off because that's good sportsmanship. And if you don't turn it off, then you're low class.
Yeah.
And that's it. So it doesn't have, the race doesn't have to play into it. But
but it does.
But it does because now us getting not mad, but us saying, oh, that's low class for Angel Reese, that's racist. But then if it was the other way around and it was Caitlin Clark going like this to Angel Reese's face, that would be racist too. You know,
it's a Chinese finger trap. It's always racist.
it's a Chinese finger trap. And then it's like, you can't just have an opinion too. Like, I can say, oh, Angel Reese, that's a low class move. The whistle's done. The game's over. You won the championship. And you're chasing around the girl going like this. That's low class. That could be my opinion. Maybe people agree. Maybe they disagree. You can say, oh, you're wrong. I don't think that was that bad. Okay. But it's like, now we have to attribute the worst motives to anyone who goes against Angel Reese. So if I say, oh, that's low class, it's like, oh, that's racist. You're racist. That's why you're saying it's low class. When it's low class, it's actually not racist to hold a black person and a white person to the same standard. It's either class, you either have class or you don't. So there is a big difference between what happened. Everyone's trying to pretend. Bryson Creates was who we like. We just didn't agree on this one. He was saying that it was kind of racist that people cared because Angel Reese is black and Caitlin Clark is white. But that's not the case. The game was over. When the game is done, you stop.
Yeah, like the facts and the situation actually, in the context, actually matter. And people like to ignore it and see race instead. So I don't know. It just seems like a waste of time. Dave Portnoy and Barstool, all the Barstool guys kind of like got in on this, and they were like, it's classless.
Yeah.
So I love to see Dave Portnoy double down, and
it is low class, and that's just what it is. When I played football, my junior year, I would talk a lot of shit in the games, whatever, and then I had an internship that summer before my senior year, and I was on a finance desk in New York, and one of the guys I was there with was working there at that bank and was a football player at a team that we played. Mm-hmm. And I saw him, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? You played at Princeton, like, cool. And the guy was kind of like, yeah, like, good to see you again. Like, kind of like mad and weird. And I'm like, what's up? And it's like, well, the last time you saw me, like, you spit at me and called me a pussy. And it's like, well, like, I'm like, sorry about that. Like, we're in the game. Anything goes.
You didn't spit at people.
I spit at people.
That's crazy. You're classless.
Oh, I was a little classless, but when the game's over, I turn it off.
Yeah, you didn't go find them after they lost and spit on them.
Yeah, and go like, fuck you, I told you. I just go, oh, game's over, good game. And I turn it off entirely.
Yeah.
And that's what you're supposed to do. And if you don't do it, you're low class. And if you're low class, it's not you're low class because I'm racist. It's just you're low class based on your behavior that I'm just objectively viewing.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to add to that?
No, I mean, I just thought it was insane that people, and then like people like Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal were on Twitter just being like, you a piece of shit. Like, like these lowbrow kind of like insults. And it's like, all right, man, like it's my opinion.
Yeah,
there's
can't
kind
just
of
have an opinion.
And then it's like class is also an opinion. Like what's class, what's not, So
if you say that the black girl has no class, that's racist, even though you're saying that based on her behavior. Mm-hmm. And then they say, well, the Caitlin Clark did it too, but they didn't do the same thing. Caitlin Clark did it to her own bench in the middle of the game during the heat of the moment. The other girl was doing it after the game's over, talking shit.
Yeah.
Just real low-class shit. Mm-hmm. But maybe I'm racist. Maybe I hate black people.
Yeah, you definitely do now.
Yeah. There's no world where she would be full of class. Okay.
And there was something deep-seated with this Angel Reese girl. Like, she wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And I think it has a big part to do with how much social media and media attention Caitlin Clark was getting.
Yeah.
And so it was like a jealous, like mad, like you don't deserve this, we do, we're the champions, which I get, that's like competitive fire, that's competitive spirit, but it resulted in classless behavior.
Yeah.
Also, apparently Joe Biden said she wanted to invite Iowa to the White House too, which is also classless trash. LSU won. They're the only ones who should go, right?
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
So
that's our opinion, and I don't think we're racist. I just think we think what we think. And
I'll wait and see what NPR guy kind of writes an article and says who the racists are. Then I'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, moving on. There was a Las Vegas shooting update.
Yeah, the guy he didn't like how he was treated by the casinos, so he shot at a country concert.
Yeah, the gunman who killed 60 people in 2017 Las Vegas shooting had lost
tens of thousands while gambling weeks before the mass shooting, so he lost a lot of money and was upset about how the casinos had treated him, according to FBI documents made public this week.
Oh, so he was just gambling, he lost a bunch of money, and that's why he did it.
Yeah, and apparently the casino stopped giving him such sweet comps. They wouldn't give him the suite. They wouldn't give him the XYZ, the free the meals at Nobu and whatever. So he went into a big suite, booked 2 rooms, and started just firing at a country concert.
Yeah. Because he's mad at the gambling.
At the casino, yeah.
So that's like a Fed article right there. There was another Fed article that came out Covering your camera is bad for your computer.
Biggest Fed thing ever. Yeah, covering the camera could damage your laptop, Apple.
Okay, Fed.
Thanks, Apple.
Okay, Fed.
I'll let you have anything.
Yeah.
I think when I saw Mark Zuckerberg do an interview and his camera on his laptop was covered with like a Post-it note, that's when I was like, okay, we should all do this.
100p.
And obviously Zuckerberg is probably a target, but I don't trust like that.
Yeah, exactly. Same here. All right, next, there was a woman who lost weight by doubling her calories.
Yeah. It's a pretty simple headline. She just said, I lost weight by doubling my calorie intake. Here's how it works.
No need to read further into it. We will give that a try. Yeah. We will give that a try. Sounds like it worked. Don't need to know how. Don't need to read. Don't need to know about the working out.
Yeah. So she doubled her calories, but she 2.1x'd her exercise probably. And that's how it works. Calories in, calories out, right, guys? It's not that crazy.
It's not that crazy.
There's not a secret to unlock.
The elk got helicoptered out.
Yeah, let's see what you have to say about this.
I don't have much to say.
So guy's got the elk.
He attaches it to the helicopter.
Hooks it to the thing.
That's a fun experience.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's probably fun. And then the helicopter goes, the elk gets carried out. I was going to say, imagine if you're another elk.
And you witness
and
this?
You look up and you see just like the flying elk go by. That would really set you back.
Or it would give you a religious experience or something. You start thinking like, whoa, what? That's the chosen elk.
Yeah. Some elk can fly.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good point. All right, we are coming into page 3 of Housekeeping. Dylan Mulvaney. We have a lot of Dylan Mulvaney stuff.
Yeah, and we actually covered it last week too in Bonus Land. So we were kind of ahead of all the Nike and the Bud Light corporate sponsorship. Dylan Mulvaney, as we mentioned in Bonus Land, also got paid $26K to go speak at the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
so
that's 26,000, and no one protested her.
Her?
I don't know him. What is he?
You can't start with that shit.
I just say it how it comes out.
Twink
right,
self.
Twink. She's a twink. He's trans.
He's a twink.
All right. So Dylan Mulvaney. First, let's do the Unkissable article, and we've kind of talked about this, but it came out again. Another article.
Yeah. So Dylan Mulvaney's getting all this money, all this corporate social media sponsorship, but still nobody's kissing him. Why will nobody kiss me? Dylan Mulvaney, man to girl transition, has won him TikTok fame, riches, and allies in the White House, but left him lonely and undateable.
Lonely. You know what I'm going to say here?
Gay guys don't like girls?
Let's say it at the same time.
Okay.
You should have stayed a twink.
Yeah.
You should have stayed a twink.
Yeah.
If you're a gay guy.
You're a little twink boy. You don't pretend to be a girl. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're a little twink boy, and then you become a girl, and then you like gay guys. It's like you're setting yourself up for failure. Gay guys don't like girls. Yeah. And then it's like, and then I think this means, based on this article and what Dylan Mulvaney's mad about, I think it means that he's mad that he now thinks he's a girl, and he thinks straight men should be dating him.
I think that's who he
and
likes.
I think that's who he likes.
Yeah.
So he wants straight men to date him. I'm a girl now. Why are no straight men dating me? Because you're not a girl.
Which is a tale as old as time in that community, in the fringe, LGB. As soon as you go past that and the extra letters, nobody dates any of those extra letters.
Yeah, that's
or
a good point.
They date each other. It goes circular. So that's why you see pregnant man with, woman, little fake man, woman.
They just flip and they go together.
They flip, they go together, and it's like you could have just not changed and done it normal.
Yeah. So Dylan Mulvaney thinks he's a girl, but is still a gay guy at heart. And then no gay guys want to bang a girl, and then no straight guys want to bang a guy.
Mm-hmm. So it's a real tongue twister almost.
It's a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah,
and you got it in. And you're trapped. Mm-hmm. He needs to date another trans person, maybe.
Yeah. What were you saying off camera? That you date Dylan Mulvaney? You were saying that off camera.
Well,
just
I was saying
Dylan
Mulvaney wouldn't even give me a shot because our politics are so different. So there's no need to even see if we'd like each other.
So he's alienated the gays. He's alienated Republicans. And so he's looking for a straight guy who's willing to fuck a little twink boy who tries to be a girl.
Yeah. Well, he should get the surgery.
I think Dylan Mulvaney should cut his dick off. Yeah.
I think so too. If you're serious about it,
that's
you're
what
a
I'm
trans
saying.
Person.
Show these corporations who are paying you so much money that you're serious about being a woman, Dylan.
You're almost legally obligated to.
That's what I think.
Take that Nike money.
And I think there was some sort of little thing where Dylan Mulvaney said he was on HRT, hormone replacement therapy, like months and months ago. Mm-hmm. But then we haven't seen the result of that. So like, I think he's kind of lying and stopping, and he just wants to be a little twink boy.
Well, he had that surgery where he like shaved his bones down.
Yeah, the facial feminization surgery. Yes.
Yeah.
So he's doing some, but that's basically cosmetic stuff. He's
got to cut his dick off.
He's got to cut it off, and
or else that Nike money gets sent back.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I was saying, like, we were just talking about this before off camera. Anomaly had tweeted, like, oh, what conservatives, why are they posting this guy? Like, I see him more from conservatives than I do from the left. And it's like, bro, they handed us a gift in our lap, this mentally ill twink boy who's getting deals everywhere.
From Nike, the biggest company ever.
It's like, it's too perfect. And it's like, I don't want to see it on my timeline. And it's like, I thought that was a little bit of a weird take, because it's like they handed us this golden goose, this idiot. You know?
I can see both sides of the take. Like, there's one take where it's like a lot of people that are spreading the weird twink shit are right-wing people. So it's getting further than you would have gotten if they were just doing it on their own. But I think the other side of it is, for us at least, we're making fun of it and doing bits and jokes, which is fun. It's a fun show. You know, we have uplifting gold at the end to wrap it all up.
Absolutely.
But also, we kind of need to see the bad stuff to be aware of the bad stuff.
100%. And it's not like anybody in our audience is like, oh, I kind of like this guy. I'm ready to like support him. No, it's like, it's a hate watch, and it's an awareness thing. And especially with all the trans stuff, the trans church, we're going to do a trans church person, pastor later. It's like to raise awareness for people who who go to work at a 9-to-5 job, and then they come home and they're tired and they make dinner and then they raise their kids a little bit. It's like, these people need to know what's going on kind of behind closed doors at schools, at, community events, at things like that. So it's kind of like an awareness thing.
It goes both ways. But I can see how personally it'd be like, more twink shit.
Yeah. Nonstop twink shit.
All right,
It's fun, dude. It's fun. You guys know me.
And then Dylan Mulvaney got the Nike ad. Here's the Nike ad playing in the background.
Yeah.
And, when I saw the Nike ad, I just thought to myself, it's going to be my Patriot supply time soon.
Yeah.
Where you have to eat the
freeze-dried food.
Yeah, the emergency food supply.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
coming. And it's like a humiliation thing, too. Like Nike, this reminds me of like George Floyd stuff, where it's like Nike doesn't need to do this. Nike is not making more money for doing this.
Doesn't move the needle.
It doesn't apply to their audience. It's not helpful. There's not even a lot of trans people that need sports bras like that. So it's like Nike doing this is actually showing their cards. And I think that the 2024 election, the 2024 elections, George Floyd will be the LGBTs, the Ts especially.
Interesting. And the thing is with the Nike, it's like, exactly, it doesn't drive the bottom line. It doesn't drive revenue, this Dylan Mulvaney
does the opposite.
Thing. It's just like a simple demoralization campaign, right? It's like, okay, let's kind of tell the world we're in charge now. It's a Twinks world.
And it's like the same with Alvin Bragg. Oh, Harvard, this is what Harvard does now. Oh, yeah. Nike, Air Jordan, like, Nike, this is what Nike does now.
Yep.
So it's just like, take something that you liked. It's like if you were, except for the boomers with Bruce Jenner. Like, the boomers love Bruce Jenner. And they go, this is your Olympian hero now.
It's so true. This is the triathlete Wheaties box.
This is your Wheaties box guy now.
Yeah.
Who's in charge?
The Twinks.
the people that pull the twink strings.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. We have a massive Rob update. Remember last week how Rob had ceviche after tennis with his buddy?
Yeah.
In Miami?
Of course. We talked about it on the show.
Here's the clip if you guys aren't familiar.
Yesterday after tennis, me and my buddy had ceviche.
So yesterday after tennis, him and his buddy had ceviche. And I loved hearing that, right?
Yeah.
I got the button.
Yesterday after tennis, me and my buddy had ceviche.
Right? So I kind of went a little crazy on it, right? And you thought I was crazy for harping on this, right?
Of course.
Well, if I'm crazy, how do you explain this? It looks like the entire world is talking about Rob and ceviche and tennis. Look at this first, the Muppet clip.
Sorry, I was imitating Rob eating all the ceviche after tennis at the cabana.
What? He's imitating Rob eating ceviche after tennis at the cabana. How does he even know about that?
I don't know. He must watch the show, right? That guy must
Someone
watch the show.
must watch the show. Well, everyone must watch Rob and then is talking about it too.
Yeah.
All these clips, by the way, this is international and interspecies.
Yeah.
There's animals talking about it. Go to the next one from New York. What's going on in New York? Naked cowboy, famous guy.
Well, Rob orders ceviche after his tennis match. That's just what he needs to do to get that old sling back. Hey, I'll see you down the Cabana in Miami.
That's a huge famous guy, the naked cowboy in New York Times Square.
And he's talking about Rob and ceviche in Cabana.
Rob orders ceviche. And then that's not it. There's a chipmunk who wrote a note about it. What does the note say?
It says, "Hey Rob, get ready for tennis in Miami. Who's bringing the ceviche? Cabanas, cabanas, cabanas." Peanut.
And that's a chipmunk who wrote that.
Yeah, wow. I think that's a squirrel, right?
And then it goes into this actually goes cross-political too, because people on both sides, people that are our opponents and our enemies in the political game, they're talking about it too. They don't even care.
Rob, all I'm going to say is Miami, ceviche, tennis, now.
So this guy, you'd think hates us.
He's talking about Rob and ceviche.
And he's talking about playing tennis in Miami, getting ceviche after.
Dude, that's crazy.
All right, what's the next one? Jeffrey Marsh, the guy who tries to have kids on his Patreon, who we don't like.
Hey Rob, hope you're having fun in Miami at the Cabana. I'm very jealous, Rob. Fleccas is going to be there tomorrow and he's bringing ceviche. Again, very jealous of you. Get your tennis racket ready.
What?
Get your tennis racket ready.
The whole world is talking about
my
this.
agenda
That's
is
a guy
to
we
say,
featured
"Oh
on
my
Cringe
gosh,
of the
what a
Week
good
like
friend."
multiple times. And
That
he's
guy
talking,
hates us.
But he's
What a good
addressing
friend
you and
Fleccas
saying
is.
Rob stuff.
What a good friend.
Everyone watches the
group
show.
you have.
Everyone sees
By the
what
way,
Rob
that
is
says a
up
whole
to.
lot
And then there's
about
one
your
more
heart,
from the
your
Cornish
character,
Seal
and who you are as a
Sanctuary.
person.
Let's
I
check
hope
it
you're
out.
loving Miami.
Hello Rob, my name's Lauren from the Cornish Seal Sanctuary. We hope you're having lots of fun playing tennis in Miami and that you're enjoying the ceviche. Do you know who else enjoys eating ceviche? Our friend Your Log's here, and we hope you have a wonderful time. All the love from your friends at Fleccas.
Well, that part, you don't have to say who.
Oh my God.
Well, what? The whole world is talking about it. Different species of animals are talking
This
about it.
show is more popular than I thought. We must have more reach or views somewhere.
We need to be careful with all this reach we got.
Yeah, that's
How do you
crazy.
explain that?
So, are you done?
Yeah.
How much money did you spend on this?
I have been very busy. Basically, I discovered a Queer Voices tab on Cameo.
Yeah, you're paying our political enemies now to do Rob bits.
Yeah.
That's. I think you need to come to terms with that in some sense.
Yeah, but in the end of the day, I'm kind of grounding. You know, like the world is crazy. Things get out of hand. A lot of stuff's out of our control. I can control my little universe that I create.
Yes.
And this is grounding. So
Okay.
if Rob gets ceviche after tennis and I go crazy for that, that's like actually a low stakes thing. It wasn't a big deal. So I'm like grounding. And also keep in mind, I'm kind of calling the reality's bluff.
Okay.
In a way. So like Rob, they probably think they don't have to fully load the Rob character. Like, oh, he's a gay guy. Him and Fleccas will meet 3 or 4 times. Nothing much more than, hey, how are you? We don't have to really load this guy.
Yeah.
But then I obsess over it, and it makes the computer work extra hard. Like, I don't know why he's talking about Rob. He doesn't even know this guy. I don't
We need a backstory.
Yeah.
The simulation needs a backstory.
Exactly. Then the computer goes trying to load all the Rob data.
Okay.
Because I picked one, and I'm hyper focusing, and I'm grounding with it, but also I'm kind of calling reality's bluff.
Okay.
And that makes it harder to Truman Show me.
Okay, yeah. And that's why it's still schizo season again. And, you know, Truman Show, Rob stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
People get their dopamine and they regulate their dopamine with like different ways. Some are good, some are bad. Some people do like watch porn, they eat food, they spend money. You know, they do all these things to kind of regulate their dopamine. I found a nice low stakes way to do it with all my Rob shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of the bigger point here.
All right, so it's healthy, you're arguing.
Exactly.
It's a healthy outlet.
Exactly. Rob ordered ceviche after his tennis match, and it's, you know, keeping me busy for months. My mental health is fine. I'm not depressed. There's no depression coming.
When is Rob going to send you a cease and desist? When is this going to become unbearable?
That's called the crescendo.
Oh, so you're looking for that.
So basically, there will come a time where Rob will message me and say, hey, man, like, you know.
Cool it on the Rob stuff.
Yeah, hey, man, I'm not mad or anything, but, you know, please don't mention me in your show anymore. And then I'm going to reply, no. I can't stop. And then that'll actually probably be it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That'll be the full ending.
Yeah, but really, we talk about all the time, making your delusions a reality and having fun and making your own little universe. I'm kind of checking homework.
Yeah.
I did it. What have you guys been up to? Besides the guy kicking over the rock pile, thank you.
Yeah, he's manifesting. He's creating his own world.
Where's everyone else? Checking homework.
Yep.
All right. Also, there's a last thing, the future self thing. Future self. This is kind of related.
Yeah, so
to
maybe film yourself telling your significant other who doesn't watch the show, tell them about Rob and Ceviche after tennis. We'd like to see some reactions.
Yeah. If you guys send us videos of you telling random people, the person that works at the store, a guy in the street, a cop, hey, did you hear that Rob had ceviche after his tennis match in Miami? That would actually make me go, that will lose my shit. All right. That's squirts. That's big squirts.
Yeah.
That's squirts. Mm-hmm. And there's a last piece of this, future self recommendation. I saw this.
It said, if you meet your 18-year-old self, you're only allowed 3 words. What do you say?
Rob Smith shit, which is weird because when I was 18, someone from the future who looked like me kind of, a little fatter than I hoped I'd be, came to me and told me Rob Smith shit.
All right, buddy. All right.
What
We're
would you tell
rails.
yourself?
I'd say Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. I'd say the same word 3 times.
Yeah, I would say buy Bitcoin.
Because when I was 18, Bitcoin I don't think was even around yet or was just starting. So
yeah,
I would
Bitcoin,
Bitcoin, Bitcoin.
buy
Search it
Bitcoin
every day.
2012.
Yeah.
Maybe leave a date.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping.
Okay, great.
How about that Rob shit?
It's a little heavy. A little heavy.
We went wild.
Yeah.
I was really busy.
Yeah, you were.
And we got all those cameos. And the cameos are like, do you want to have it expedited 24 hours? And it's like, yeah. Yeah, I do. So that was good. You think that was funny?
Yeah, I did. We'll see what the audience thinks. Do you like Rob shit? Should we go back to doppelgangers? What do you think?
Don't give them that option.
I know.
Because everyone's going to say doppelgangers because they don't really get the Rob shit. But the Rob shit's coming to a peak now, and then we're bringing these other assets in, these other people doing our biddings. That makes it more fun. That makes it more real. That makes it more than just talking about handsome Rob.
For sure.
All right, let's get into the cringe of the week. First clip of cringe of the week is that Canadian Circus press conference.
The clown show. Yeah, they gave us a free image that can last forever, basically.
Look at this group of people.
Should we not post this because you're posting twinks? You know, it's like we kind of have to talk about this.
Have to talk about.
We have to talk about the fellowship of the drags and this guy right here, back right.
He's
normal
the one
guy
who sold everyone out.
Yeah, he's the one who won't speak up. I don't know what's going on with him.
Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Look at this lady right here in the front.
This Halloween costume one with the blonde hair.
This is like a Lord of the Rings meets Rocky Horror thing. Like, did this press conference, like, is this during the intermission of some freak show?
It has to be, because otherwise, why are these people together? And the video itself is protect 2S LGBTQI plus communities. So you got to protect all these freaks.
Yeah.
Veruca. There's Veruca Salt. Is that the...
Yeah.
The
Veruca Salt.
Veruca.
Yeah. These people, it's interesting too, because they're behind the podium. These people are on TV. There are a lot of white people in there.
A lot of men. A lot of white men.
Yeah. And basically, for white men, or men in general, but these are white men.
Yeah.
There'd be a time where you'd want to be a hero, right? Mm-hmm. You grow up and you want to strive to be a hero one day or do something heroic. And I think
you
that's
have dreams
gone.
of you stopping a robbery or catching a bad guy or something.
And like that stuff is gone now
Yeah.
because being a hero is usually being a toxic male or toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
So if you're like a white guy like these people, your only option is to be like the best victim you can be. And you need to be oppressed by white people because they're the enemy. Mm-hmm. So how do you do that? You become an LGBT.
Yeah.
And that's how like much of a power situation it is, where it's like you can make these people join the LGBT community just so they can say, oh, I'm a victim, I'm oppressed, everyone's trying to get me because of my sexuality, I'm against white people, oh, white people, white people, white people. And back in the day, you just like those people would be kind of not really around in front and center because they don't really add much value. And then heroes would be, projected and presented to the public as good people.
Yeah.
And now it's the opposite. It's how much of a victim you are is if you're presented to the public and how good of a person you are.
Well, and it's also interesting because men historically have been the primary drivers of political change, right? And there's been the women's suffrage movement, a couple things like that, blah, blah, blah. But really it's men, and then women for abortion. But now the men are fighting for the other side.
Yeah.
It's still white guys fighting for political, power and control, but they just put on a dress and shitty makeup.
Yeah.
And they're kind of pedophile. Yeah. They're a little bit pedophile. So it's the same shit, different form, right?
Yeah.
Fighting for the wrong team, I guess.
Let's go to the next clip of the drag lady in church. Drag lady. Jeez.
If the UCC was really as open and affirming as it claims to be, then there would be trans people of color in every UCC church. But that would also require the UCC to reckon with its white supremacy culture. 90% of the UCC is white, and if you look a little deep into the history, you will see that the UCC has its roots in American colonialism.
That's good.
Every fucking buzzword you can jam in there, huh?
In church, in front of everyone, open and affirming. It's like, when is that supposed to be happening?
Affirming? When has the church ever been affirming?
Yeah.
For what? Like, what are we talking about here? Open and affirming? No, it's a pretty strict adherence to specific values and rules, guys, like open and affirming. Man, white supremacy. It's like, do you have any proof or is it just 90% white? So therefore it's white supremacy.
Yeah.
And these are the leaps that they've created in their wordplay, right? Like,
but it doesn't apply to them because they're oppressed by the white supremacy too. I'm a trans.
They put on the mask, and it's just crazy, diluted. And again, white man driving political discourse in a perverse way now.
In just a backwards, upside down way.
But yeah, when I watched that clip for the first time, open and affirming, like aruga, like for the church, what are you talking about?
Yeah. In the church.
It's like, get in line with the beliefs and like all the values we hold, because this is the best way to do it. Thousands of years going,
Yeah, exactly. That's a church that person was speaking at. A more extreme radical podcast host would tell you guys it's getting close to gun time.
Yeah. Someone who didn't care about the state of their channel would
say, oh, there's trans people at the podium being pastors in a church. A more radical podcast host would say it's gun time.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Woman sues the Kappa sorority for allowing a trans person in there.
Yeah, so this kind of happened 2 weeks ago, but we weren't able to cover it. But yeah, women sue their sorority because trans-identified male is permitted in the club and its female spaces. Quote, he had an erection visible through his leggings. And it's this, meme where he's sitting behind the picture of the girls, and it's like, oh, man, I spot the trans person. I bet you can't.
Trans day visibility. There you are.
Yeah. And it says, and so some highlights from this article. Langford is 6'2" and weighs around 260 pounds. And Redux reported that 7 women in Kappa Kappa Gamma are suing the sorority because they allowed Langford to join and live in the sorority house, where approximately 50 women live. And Kappa Kappa Gamma is like one of the most prestigious, famous
it's a big one.
Sororities,
Kappa
right?
Kappa Gamma.
Yeah.
That's where all the best girls are.
Yeah. And boys. And so the article goes on to say there's a couple points that I just want to point out that make this story a little worse. Langford has access to all the common areas of the sorority house. He doesn't live in the house currently, but he is reportedly planning to move into the space sometime next year. Women who filed the lawsuit allege that he sits on the second floor where the main bathroom, communal showers, and private changing area are located. The women claim he is watching them in a voyeuristic way in court documents. And it's like, remember how Democrats just say believe all women? Mm-hmm. Not really here, They're saying it's a voyeuristic way, but it's like, she's a woman too. Here's a good quote. One sorority member walked down the hall to take a shower wearing only a towel. She felt an unsettling presence, turned, and saw Mr. Smith watching her silently. Mr. Smith has, while watching members enter the sorority house, had an erection visible through his leggings. Other times, he has had a pillow in his lap. So it's classic 8th grade boy shit.
He's getting bricked up. He's getting bricked up at the sorority house.
Yeah. He also has a history of making inappropriate comments, even asking the sorority sisters what vaginas look like. and inquired about whether any of the women were considering breast reductions. And also, this trans dude, 6'2", 260, expresses his sexual interest in women and has even had a Tinder account in order to meet women to date. So we know he likes women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, I turned it off, I'm done. It's like he's a creepy little voyeur pervert trying to get women on Tinder. And I actually had someone DM me who goes to the school and sent me a picture of him.
So we got people on the inside.
He was sitting with like these big knee-high boots, like and leggings. So hilarious.
And Kappa Kappa Gamma is one of the biggest. That's Kappa. That's one of the biggest sororities in the country. It's nationwide.
Yeah.
They should come out with a statement that says, Kappa. You know, if they want to use mine, you can just say, "Hey, we refer you to the statement that Fleccas made." Kappa Kappa Gamma was only going to be allowing biological females into the sorority going forward.
But they didn't. The national chapter or whatever said, and women and identifying as women, like people who identify as women. Yeah. So they already gave it up. You guys gave it up. And the funny thing is, with a sorority like that, the bid process, the bid to get into the sorority, it's such a black box. It's like these girls just get together and go, okay, do we like her? She rubbed me the wrong way. Blah, blah, blah. You know, it's like, and then whoever was trying to get in never hears about it. You know what I mean? It's truly a black box, and there's no like, you can never prove like, oh, they discriminated or they did this, and they just let the tranny in.
They probably were scared.
I guess. I don't know, man.
They were definitely scared. If you guys are in that sorority, tell that guy about Rob Ceviche Cabana Tennis.
Stop.
And I'll send you $1,000.
All right. You're crazy. You're crazy.
All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Trans Day of Visibility.
Yeah.
Let's do the laser one.
Yeah, this is what they needed us to see.
So there they go. They have the lasers in their butt.
Butt plug laser pointers? Is that what's happening here?
Yep.
Crawling around on the ground?
And it's Trans Day of Visibility.
Oh, look at, they're putting one in.
Ugh. It's like, oh, how do you want to be seen? Like, barely noticeable, fitting in as a professional in public or a normal member of the community?
Let me be seen in the worst sexual pervert degenerate way possible instead.
I want to be crawling on the ground with lasers in my butt for an audience.
Yeah. That's Happy Trans Day of Visibility.
That's what they want to show us.
And I said Trans Day of Visibility, like, dude, we see you. We can spot you from a long way away. We see those broad shoulders, you know?
It should be Trans Day of, like, incognito.
Yeah, Trans Day of we're just like you, normal. Don't look at us, visibility.
And also that day was actually last week, but we didn't bring it up because it was Trans Day of sneaking in, Trans Day of sneaking around.
Yeah.
It happened 2 weeks ago. You didn't notice. That was the point of it. That would be actually nice.
Yeah, and then the White House ended up saying that there was an epidemic of violence against trans people. Right?
Oh,
you see that?
The genocide.
In their Biden's actions to strengthen protections for trans people. And he said that there's a genocide, basically.
The Nuance Bro had a great response to that, which he usually does.
Yeah, and because, you think if there's a genocide going on, you'd be like, that's Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C, like, say her name. It'd be like a Breonna Taylor type thing. Like, here's our perfect victim. And Nuance Bro said, I think the reason they don't shout every case from the rooftops is because virtually all the known killers are black. And this is a spreadsheet where someone has put a lot of work into figuring out who the attackers were. And black, Hispanic, juvenile, killed in jail, no suspects, police, trans suspect, Hispanic. So there's not many. I don't think there's one white person on this list.
That's good.
Yeah, but they don't want anyone to know that so that they can do the loose blaming on white people like they did with the Stop Asian Hate.
Yeah, exactly.
The loose blaming where they just allude to it and they never provide any details. So
they just allude to it. They pretend it's like white Christians who are attacking these trans people. And meanwhile, it's mostly like black and Hispanic people in blue cities.
Yeah, it's like a horny black guy who just bangs out a transgender and then they get in a fight and she goes, fuck you, I'm gonna tell everybody you fuck me. Mm-hmm. And then he chokes her to death because he wants to keep that secret.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, guys. It seems like it's not really an us problem at all.
Yeah. Next, let's do the drag in City Hall. This is on the Trans Day of Visibility as well. Another performance.
Oh, yeah. This is in Minnesota, the state capital, on the Day of Visibility.
In front of everybody. This is what they want to show. This is their performance.
Oh. Sign language interpreter in the back.
No way.
Stop. Little lesbian sign language interpreter.
These are all women there. This isn't even good content. He's not even good at dancing.
It's all white women cheering on a white guy with a beard.
That's actually the problem. It's the women who just think they need to be nice to everybody, and they don't realize that there's more to it than being nice. And the powers that be know that there's more to it than being nice. So they basically lead block with the freaks and say, oh, if you make fun of the freaks, you're a transphobe. And they lead block with the freaks. And then basically once you realize it's not what they actually said it was, it's too late because they've already implemented all their shit.
Yeah. They use them as a human meat shield and if cannon fodder, you know?
And they're
Who
also
cares
like
what
mentally ill
happens?
people who like want attention and then like being a victim. So like the attention they get and the hate they get, they like. And then the positive stuff they get, they like too. So it's like the perfect little pawn.
Yeah.
Perfect little twink to send in the front lines.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And like you said before, it's like Trans Day of Visibility. Like, why wouldn't you highlight someone who's trans and they're a doctor, or trans and they're an engineer? I'm trans and I helped build the XYZ. And it's like, what is all you really do is kind of have work low wage jobs and then dance in front of kids? Is that what you guys are up to?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Like the best thing a trans person can be is like an advocate for trans people.
Yes, so they all become that.
But then it's like what like you're just all you are is advocating for trans people. You're not successful in any other thing.
And it's the same thing for diversity, equity, and inclusion hires. You know, it's like my only job is to be black to hire more black people, and then I'm a transgender drag queen thing, and my only job is to make sure we're accepted and have more of them. And they just have two wheels of the same thing churning.
But no one's accomplishing anything or doing anything hard or being the best at anything.
Well, they're hoping, that's the whole point. I'm hoping I can get the next one up to accomplish something. And then it's like, well, the diversity hire wasn't that smart and didn't really achieve in STEM. So they go right back into the diversity pipeline, you know?
Yeah.
If you're a diversity, equity, and inclusion employee at anywhere, you should be ashamed. Yeah. You don't do anything. Right? I mean, you don't do anything other than constantly advocate for slightly more blacks. It's like, all right, it's our annual meeting. Let's up the percentage. You know, like, what do you do? It's crazy.
That's a good point. Their only job is that.
Exactly.
And also with these trans people, especially the ones that are pushing back against the people pushing back against the drag for kids stuff, like anyone who's protesting drag for kids, the trans people get mad. I saw like a meme about this. It's none of the kids are looking for drag queens, right?
Yeah.
None of the kids are like, oh, I want to go see a drag performance.
Mommy, can I go?
Please?
Like, I heard about this at school. Can we go?
Like, it's not even in their mind. They don't even know it exists. But for some reason, these trans people need to like be putting themselves in front of children at these events. Like they're like the trans people are seeking out audiences of children.
Yeah, they have a ton of supply and no demand. But it's like the invisible hand of the economy just forces it together, right?
Exactly.
And the invisible hand is white men pretending to be women who want to drive their agenda, right?
Yep. So next, there's a drag summer camp coming up.
Yeah, this is in Canada. Junior drag camp, ages 7 through 11, $460. And then teen drag camp, ages 12 to 17, $900. So pay to get your kid into a drag summer camp, and it's sponsored by the City of Vancouver, Canada Council for the Arts, British Columbia Arts Council, British Columbia, Granville Island, and Canada. So this is somewhere in Vancouver.
Looks like tax dollars are going to that.
Yeah, all those places sound publicly funded. So good luck, Canada.
Is that an FBI sting?
It should be.
And everyone gets there, and then it's like that guy from that show, Catch a Predator.
Yeah, Chris Hansen sits everybody down and goes, so what made you think it was okay to bring your kid to a drag show?
What are you doing? And then the drag queens, it's like, what are you, the sleepover drag camp?
You thought we were going to give you access to kids?
Yeah, but no, it's not that.
But unfortunately, it's real. Tuition includes drag makeup kit. Great.
Let's play the Jeffrey Marsh clip.
Let me tell you something about LGBTQ rights, about trans rights. This is only going in one direction. You will respect us. You can be upset. You can be angry. You can think it's unfair. You can feel like we're stealing something from you. But it's still only going in one direction. You will respect us.
Shut up. Yeah, come say it to my face, pussy.
Yeah. Read my Rob Smith ad reads,
Yeah.
gay bitch.
Dude, and it's like, that's the same vibe as, we'll convert your children.
Yeah.
Do it bit by bit. It may feel like we're stealing something from you.
Yeah.
Nice nuance. You're like just telling it to our face. So, and that's a big talking point that I always say. It's like, when they tell you this, believe them. You know, you got to listen to them straight up. So,
Yeah. I gave that guy like $100.
yeah, you paid him. You paid our political enemies. So,
But I had to.
yeah.
I had to.
I don't know.
Well, it's open for discussion. All right, last thing. Let's play that Base Latin clip. Base Latin is an Instagram account that we love and follow. And he put together like a side-by-side of like a nuclear family and then a twink dad family.
Tell me you grew up with gay dads without telling me you grew up with gay dads. I know dogs bark, and I know cats meow. But according to my papa, bears woof. Drag queens are more than just entertainers. They're leaders. Some kids raise money with lemonade stands, but I raise LGBT children's literature books to donate. When my papa says take care of my sisters, this is what they mean. Girl, she's ready. We have to plan our vacations around Beyonce and Madonna tours. I'm not allowed to paint my nails unless I paint my papa's.
Ugh.
Should we end it there? I don't want to see
I
any
think
more of
I've
this.
seen enough. Yeah. So the gay kid's got all these like quips, like these like Modern Family little banter.
Exactly. He's got lines. He's got gay, sassy humor. That's the only thing he's got. The other kid,
it's like cleaning, doing a lawn work. And
he's turning a wrench. He's blowing leaves. He's learning how to ride a bike. He's doing actual stuff. And you know what's funny is you could raise a kid like that, you know, teach him all the things, the manly stuff, and he can still go be a twink.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying he should, but like, you don't need to constantly raise a twink kid. He can still flip on that switch and go be a little
southern,
boy.
southern working twink.
Yeah. So, which way, Western man?
Yeah. And it's interesting because
There's one right answer, obviously.
You know, one family's kid gets a flat tire and they change the tire. The other one gets a flat tire and says, "Oh, I hope the tow truck guy doesn't see me wearing seersucker in March." Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be so embarrassing. Like he has these little lines lined up for all this gay shit.
It's all just bits and double entendres and little gay shit. So
yeah.
Enjoy it, kid. You're
All
gonna
right.
have enjoy life.
Yeah, for real. Let's move on. We're still in cringe. We have another page of cringe, and this is the non-trans cringe stuff.
Okay.
So we're done with the cringe stuff for a little. I mean, with the twink stuff for a little bit.
Good.
Alpha versus the teacher.
Yeah, let's see what kids are up to these days.
Getting out of hands these days.
I've had enough of this. This punishment stuff is going to stop.
You're not gonna tell me what I'm gonna do and not do?
I am now the alpha.
Bro. That's not how this works. I am the teacher.
The alpha takes priority over the teacher. The alpha takes priority over everything. Do you not know how that works?
The teacher is telling the alpha to sit in this seat right now.
And the alpha doesn't have to listen to orders from its lower.
Well, you don't have to listen, but the consequences that follow are going to still apply to the alpha.
The alpha doesn't.
Oh man.
Kind of feels like trans stuff. I know we're supposed to move on, but you will tell me this and
it's like
call
the
me
same
this.
mindset.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a game of Andrew Tate telephone.
Yeah. If you need to not take shit from anyone, be the alpha, manifest your destiny.
You are the authority. There is no authority over you. It's like, unless you're in high school.
And you have a weird lisp and you're not respected at all and you're a weird kid.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's where that type of Andrew Tate advice gets like,
it's not for everybody.
It shouldn't be for you. Yeah, buddy. Don't just repeat things. Like you need to understand and like have self-awareness, I think, before you implement anything like that.
All right. We have to kind of go faster because we were too slow on cringe.
All right.
And we're already like deep into the show. It's going to be a longer episode. Everyone likes longer episodes. So this one might be an hour 40.
Chill.
I know. All right. The girl says, I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Have the teriyaki chicken with no vegetables, just the fried rice.
I want to know why don't y'all have sesame chicken?
I'm sorry?
Why don't y'all have sesame chicken?
I have a boyfriend.
What?
Why don't y'all have sesame chicken? I have a boyfriend. Well, I'm sure she gets talked to a lot by people and collected some data and just assumed everyone's trying to hit on her.
Yeah, certain type of guy. Certain type of guy, constantly horny, always hitting on her.
Yeah, that was funny though. All right. Yeah. Let's get into the cheating girlfriend.
Yeah, this girl went on vacation somewhere, I think probably Mexico or something, and her boyfriend broke up with her after some illicit behavior.
It's safe to say that this man was way too insecure and let other people get the best of him in his emotions.
So that's her on spring break.
Whatever he's feeling, I'm not cheating. I'm not doing anything that's like
Eiffel
foul
Tower
or wrong. I'm just literally having a good time. But besties taking a body shot off of me, and yeah, my tits are out because I'm in Rosarito, and they put a fucking sticker on my titties, and that's one.
her.
But the second one, I'm like dancing with another one of the workers because he was a vibe. Poured a shot in my mouth, flipped me
He was
around.
a vibe.
I mean, yeah, I danced with the fucking worker. You know, he's mad because this guy's actually cute, or like, is he jealous? Like, but okay, I guess for like a submissive, boring bitch, yeah, that's wrong. Like, it's an issue. Like, wait, hold on, I didn't think I was.
So she's mad that she got broken up with, and that was her behavior on spring break.
Yeah, she goes, I guess my boyfriend was insecure.
It's like the whole relationship is not secure.
Do you think that was secure? You think you're secure and like showing your tits and getting your ass like jiggled around? And
That's why you don't date people that go on spring break.
Yeah. And that girl, look at that girl. You know, well, he poured a shot in my mouth. I had to show my tits. Like, it's just, and look at how she's got that kind of gut, that body shape where she's like probably early 20s, but she's got that big gut, that beer belly or whatever, constant alcohol. So that kid, sorry you even had to date her for a while.
It's very bad that he even dated her in the first place, because it's like not like it's a surprise by the behavior. Like, oh, she was great, and then she went to spring break, and now this.
Yeah,
it's like you probably could have known.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there were signs that you missed, buddy. Yeah, that's the best. I don't think girls feel guilt that much. They feel shame, you know. But look at how little guilt she had in that scenario. There was no assessment, inventory taken of her own behavior. It was just, I guess he was insecure.
Yeah, and she thinks
I'll go tell TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And she thinks she's hot because guys have like their hands on her and want to do stuff with her. But that's like, not that impressive. Guys will do that. Guys want to do that with pretty much anybody.
Yeah, so as we've seen by the trans murders.
Yeah,
guys are even fucking those.
Exactly.
And then when it gets out,
so then you do that too much, and then you get older, and then you get less male attention, and then you're like, where are all the good guys at? And it's like, well, they saw you do all the trash shit, and they don't want to pick you.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, and
you gained 30 pounds since then too, from just binge drinking and like trying to get attention.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, go to that Reddit post.
It says, be me, born in 1949. Don't have to fight in a war. Be 20 years old in time for the summer of 69. Pick up some ridiculous 11 out of 10 who's hitchhiking to Woodstock in my Plymouth Roadrunner I bought after working a summer job for a month. She's immediately into me because she's from a small town and I'm the only man in her life who's not her father or her brother. Bring her home to marry her. Go get a job, hired off the street with no experience, and get trained. Buy 10 acres of land for less than what I make in a year. Rent out my land for decades. Retire and sit around house all day looking at my collection of boats and cars I never use. Kids today just don't understand how hard work and pulling themselves up by their bootstraps.
It's kind of true.
Yeah.
Times were different.
There was a really good era, and that's hyperbole, obviously, somewhat, but
yeah.
But that really was the post-war America, man.
There was a time.
That was sweet.
Go to the one of the girl who travels a lot.
Yeah, which one? The Instagram story thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is just some girl's Instagram story, and some guy tweeted, it's like the Instagram stories.
Of like, so it's for girls have Instagram stories, and it's like all the places they've traveled. So it's like Paris, what does it say?
Paris, Rome, Zakynthos, somewhere in Greece, Cyprus, Thailand, Milan.
So they have all these spots. And then the guy tweets it and goes, only a matter of time before girls realize that this is one of the biggest turnoffs. And then some other guy replies and goes, there's no logical explanation for why this would turn anyone off. And I think there is.
I agree.
It's a turnoff because you're going on sex vacations with these rich guys.
In some cases,
Most
yes.
of the time.
Yeah.
Like a situation like that where it's all these different places. It's like you're not paying for it yourself. It's not a family vacation. You're going on sex vacations with rich people.
Yeah. And if you're solo, then you're constantly looking for something too, right? Like you're out there like, who am I going to meet? What am I going to do? It's Europe. Nobody from home will ever know or find out what I did.
Yeah, exactly. So don't worry about why we care. Don't worry about why it's, a turnoff to us. Go, you have your sex vacation guy. Go hang out with him.
Yeah, he enjoys it.
Yeah, you already picked your guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on out of Cringe of the Week, we're into Urban Decay. We are running low on time, so we're not going to speed through, but we are going to have a
We
pace.
can't speed through the show because housekeeping got so schizo.
Yeah.
So
But we needed to get those raw videos shown.
Of course.
So we're going to have a nice little pace to this. The guy who created Cash App got stabbed to death.
Yeah, this is a huge story. He got stabbed to death, killed in San Francisco at 2:30 in the morning in a very wealthy neighborhood in San Francisco as well. I think I saw something where the average rent was $4,500 or $5,500, something like in that range.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
And this guy is like a real progressive guy. He's dead, but he was very progressive, and he'd always tweet about racism. Can you read that one tweet?
Yeah, so people found some of his old tweets. That here's one. It says, if people you associate with say or do something racist and you don't correct them, you are guilty of racism by association, which is just as bad, perhaps worse, since you know better. When it comes to racism, if you aren't part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And then he has another one. Ignoring color is problematic because it precludes fixing institutional racism. Instead, see color, recognize that your black friends face challenges that you don't, and help move the world forward towards racial equity.
So that was the way he thought. That was how he was. Is there another tweet?
Yeah, someone quote tweeted that and said, how's that working out for you?
Yeah.
Kind of a dunk on him,
It's like...
Which is not great. We don't know the race of the attacker, but, the odds, the books, the sports books, you know where they're at, right?
And he probably got approached by some street rat and was probably like, oh, I'm not going to be racist. I'm not going to assume this person's going to try and kill me. And then he got knifed to death. And then I'm assuming, based on the data we have and the things we've seen, I'm assuming he was probably like bleeding out and then no one helped him or people filmed him and didn't help.
And that is actually factual because
I guess that
he was on video camera. So someone else tweeted, you're actually spot on. Someone else tweeted, the manager of the building facing where the stabbing occurred, quote, watched security footage of the wounded victim wandering the streets bleeding. Quote, he's walking fast, but he doesn't wobble. He is on the phone and trying to flag down passing cars, but no one stops. R.I.P. Bob Lee.
Isn't that crazy?
It's the low trust society, dude. That's what you get,
No one stops, and you're like in a bad dream, bleeding out, and no one will help you. And you're just like, please help me, and cars are just driving by.
And if San Francisco had a high trust society and they cleaned up the street rats and they cleaned up the people who walk around and bash in your car windows and nothing happened for 6 months and people started saying, wow, society's pretty good. I think if they saw someone stabbed and asking for help, they'd probably help.
Yeah, if you needed help in a random rural town in America, someone will help you if you're bleeding out. And it's interesting, too, with this whole situation, because obviously, if we were to get COVID and die from COVID, people would dunk on us.
Absolutely.
They would dunk on this podcast. They would go, oh, these anti-vaxxers.
Anti-vax podcast host dead at 30.
Yep. Listed everything that causes the heart attacks and blood clots. Like they would use all of our stuff. If we died from a Nazi or a white supremacist, if a white supremacist killed us,
I deserve to be dunked on.
We'd get dunked on.
Because our whole thing is how they don't exist. There's not many. It's such a tiny, tiny percentage of the population, and there's real crime out there. And it's mostly...
if we got killed by Jerry, Rottweiler, instead of a pit bull, they'd dunk on us.
Absolutely.
But then this guy gets killed by most likely black crime. We're not going to dunk on him because that's low class.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, it's like, this is sad. It's, the guy has daughters. Like, it's a dad gone because, and he doesn't even live in San Francisco anymore. He was there for business. So he was visiting San Francisco and he got a real taste of the San Francisco brand, right?
Yeah.
And should I read this one more tweet?
Sure.
This one, we talked about this. Gary Tan, right? This guy who's like a tech founder type, Silicon Valley type. He goes, if you interacted with Bob Lee on Monday or Tuesday in SF and you have video or were in the area of Rincon Hill Tuesday morning, please send it to the SFPD. Do not publish it. Send it directly to SFPD. Details below. Well, why? Why wouldn't you publish it? Doesn't the city have a right to know what the killer looks like or who he is? There's someone who's willing to commit murder out there. So it used to be a thing, like suspect on the loose. You'd show the sketch, you'd show the video, right? And he has a follow-up tweet after some people were like, you know, obviously had concerns about why wouldn't you publish it? He goes, to trolls, Twitter is crazy pills. Just so you all know, I was the first donor and vocal advocate of the Democrat-led recall of Chesa Boudin, you know, the progressive DA who's there ruining San Francisco. And he goes, I couldn't care less the race of the perpetrator. I just want them to be found and prosecuted.
They probably want him to get prosecuted. What are you talking about?
But what a weird thing to say. I couldn't care less about the race of the perpetrator. Why?
Don't you guys love data?
Isn't that the whole point? That
Like
they
the
take
tech industry is every data point ever?
Facebook, Meta, every single thing is like, we need to know as much information about our customers as possible. But that analytical mind, that analytical, like looking for trends and patterns, like you wouldn't recommend a do-rag to a white person on Facebook ads, right?
Well, I don't know. Everyone can get ads equally, and everyone has different kinds of hair.
Yeah, but they don't. You know, when it actually affects your bottom line, they don't. And so you want to segment your customer and your database in every way possible. This is a white man between 35 and 36. Like we have a tight age range on him. So he likes golf and this, and we're going to create an advertising package that crushes it.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, when the big tech CEO guy gets stabbed and killed, it's like, I couldn't care less about the race.
Yeah.
I don't want that piece of data, even though they want every other piece of data that's out there. So I find that really strange.
Very strange. It shows how strong the ideology is.
Yeah, and you know,
takes precedent over anything.
There's been a couple really bad murders, like in LA and San Francisco, where somebody just, like a shopkeeper gets killed. There was a girl who was working in a furniture store who got stabbed by that black guy. He was on security camera, all that. And now it's like one of their own, one of the tech elite's own gets killed. And so we'll see if this makes an impact on the philanthropy and where the dollars go, right? For people in similar circumstances. Because now they go, that could have been me.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the cop body slam.
Yeah, this is a quick clip.
This is a quick clip with 1 point. So the cop body slams that lady.
It was a big brawl.
Big brawl. And then the joke was the money fell out like Grand Theft Auto.
Look at it. Oh, she's dead and the money's out. Like, take your money, take her guns.
That's exactly what happens in Grand Theft Auto when you die.
And hey, society is trending towards more Grand Theft Auto, right? So I expected to see this, to be honest.
That's life imitating art. Yeah. The lady pissing at the slot machines.
Yeah.
I don't know why this isn't urban. So
she's dressed well.
She's dressed well. She's pissing at the machine. I guess I see why this is bad. Obviously, it's not as bad if you were shitting at the machine. So it's all wet there, so it's obviously not good. But I do see both sides to this.
You got that gambling addict dog in you? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're implying?
Sometimes you can't leave the machine.
I've seen Fleccas gamble, and gambling is bad, right?
Gambling is bad.
Like, you shouldn't be gambling.
Shouldn't be gambling.
And it's going to be like an epidemic, just like the opioids, of how much American white kids have lost gambling with all the Barstool Sports app, the this, the that.
It came out of nowhere. And now we're seeing like Peyton Manning talking about the over. And it's
okay, the odds are here. Yeah. But so I've seen Fleccas gamble, and I think in an alternate universe, you'd be a degenerate gambling addict, because I've seen him win like a slot machine or something, like do a big bet and win.
We call it slaps.
Yeah.
So I'll do like a slap on a machine, and it'll, like, say it's like a $2 bet, and it'll win big. It'll win $400.
And then he'll just go, do it again.
Slap it again. It's like, well, we're not going to win again. We just won.
We just won. That's it. Take the money.
It's impossible.
Let's
the
go.
data's not in our favor. We got to get out of here.
Let's go get steaks. And it's like, again,
Slap
do it again.
Slap it again.
So there's a world where you could be a gambling addict.
Yeah,
So
I'd be good at being a gambling addict.
Yeah. So keep that on watch.
All right. The tree's replaced with the slime wall.
Yeah.
This is interesting. This is, what's it called when it's a bad utopia? Dystopia.
Yeah. So it said liquid trees are used in Serbia to fight against air pollution. Let's let the clip play.
This is a liquid tree, and it's helping fight air pollution. A liquid tree is basically a tank that's filled with water and microalgae. The microalgae act like trees by removing carbon dioxide from the air and producing oxygen instead. Each liquid tree removes as much carbon as 2 10-year-old trees. The idea was created by scientists in Belgrade, Serbia, with the goal of reducing air pollution in cities. Liquid trees are not meant to replace real trees. Instead, they could be used in cities.
That's enough.
Where
We get it.
We get it. You made a fucking science project tree.
Slime tree.
Eyesore.
A slime tree better than real tree, right?
Yeah.
Right? Fake meat better than real meat, right? Small house pod better than house land, right? Don't need anything, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like that.
Here, it sounds like something Klaus Schwab really likes. He wants to fund it.
Slime tree.
My thing is, like, if you're at the point where you're needing slime trees, just move, you know? The city's too overpopulated, right? And if you can't have trees in the city, then it's too overbuilt. It's overpopulated.
Yeah.
So instead of like letting the natural thing, it's like, let's see how science can pack as many people into this square mile as possible.
Yeah.
Which is not how you should live, right?
Yeah.
And also, that's something I was thinking about too with urban decay. It's like the city is the spot where you most need to keep people in jail who are criminals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all the George Soros type DAs are just releasing them. But nobody knows who this guy is. Like, you see the guy on the street, and nobody knows he just got out of prison, released early from a violent felony. You know? So it's like the city is actually where you need to protect your good population more than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like a rural guy who's like, oh, he raped somebody, and he goes and lives in his house, and he's on house arrest and stuff. It's like, he's not going to just walk into somebody and be like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's got to get in his car, go somewhere, go look around. Cities are the one place where people should be held accountable more, and they're not. So it's kind of backwards.
A little backwards. All right, Oakland Raising Cane's got shut down.
Yep.
Raising Cane's in Oakland is only doing drive-through now. The restaurant has closed its dining room due to crime and safety concerns. According to the fast food chain, there have been multiple car break-ins in the parking lot of this location and numerous other robberies around the neighborhood. Writing in a statement, quote, customers...
Right by Martin Luther King Jr. Regional Shoreline.
Who would have guessed?
And that's just one of those things where it's like, your community is a mirror, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what you put in is what you get out. So if you're a piece of shit and a large group of people are pieces of shit, then you're going to lose the space where you can enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you're going to lose things that are valuable, like the food places.
Like, we can sit down in a restaurant and enjoy Raising Cane's. It's like, no, you can't anymore because too many people misbehaved and we can't handle it. And it's like, there's a reason there's a bulletproof glass at the fried chicken place in inner city Chicago.
That's a good point.
You know, it's just like, yeah, you get what you give, and too many people are trying to take too much.
And you get like these food deserts.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why is there a food desert? It's because all the good food got destroyed. Whole Foods can't come here because everyone steals it or robs us.
Yeah, exactly. And there was actually in Chicago, there was a Whole Foods that opened up on the south side that opened up, tried it, 2.5 years or whatever, and then was like, okay, we're closing. Experiment failed. We tried. It didn't work out. And then like Lori Lightfoot and the city pressured them. They were like, you can't leave. Like, how dare you? Or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like, are you going to pay us? Like, this sucks. It sucks living here. So, I mean, you get what you give, and input equals output, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to the guy who steals and then gets encouraged instead of stopped.
Stellan almost goes wrong life for part 2.
So he's stealing, and these white ladies are yelling at him, and then he just bails, and he tries to leave the stuff. But then the people out in the parking lot are like, nah, go get your shit, finish the job.
They encourage him to finish the job because this white lady probably can't put up a fight.
And then he goes and gets his stuff.
Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up! Hurry up!
And now they're all accessories to crimes. What a hectic thing.
And now the 2 other white women employees come out trying to stop him. And the black people in the parking lot who are hanging out there with their cars are encouraging him to steal. and they're laughing. They record.
Nissan
they laugh.
Altima. What a classic. Nissan Altima. That's a
And he's off.
That's the kind of car that steals.
Some guy was helping him put something into the car. It's like, you guys are all an accessory to a crime. I know you think it's world star social media, but you guys are all an accessory right now.
And the 3 white ladies trying to keep it all together.
Yeah. So bad, low trust society. When's that store going to be drive-through only? After a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go to the guy who's illegally driving.
Crazy.
This is a good clip. This is a good Urban Decay, but it's bad.
So you're just going to keep on driving illegally no matter what?
It's one thing
You can suck a
to drive without a license.
I'm still out here baselining shit.
Another to make a left turn from the far right lane directly in front of a squad car.
Like, I shouldn't have to hit my brakes to not hit you, know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, I feel you, but at the same time, I was trying to go this way, but I knew I was in the wrong lane. I didn't know you was right there.
Then again,
You got, like, the registration or anything that, like, bill of sale or anything that's got the VIN on it or anything
Hell
like that?
no.
25-year-old Dyrell Chaplin seems to have no fear of getting caught, much less hurting someone else.
You're endangering the
I
public.
don't care.
I
don't
do.
care. I don't care.
We first told you about Chaplin in the spring of 2022.
Running reds in broad day, there's me.
By then, he'd already been stopped 35 times in 3 years, 24 by Milwaukee police alone, for running red lights, blowing through stop signs, cutting off traffic, and speeding up to 41 miles per hour over the limit.
I'm in a wreck.
With no registration, no insurance, and no driver's license.
People don't care about that. That just, the older people care about that.
He was late for traffic court in Waukesha
I ain't finna do this with y'all again.
for driving while revoked.
You drove illegally to a court hearing for driving
Does it
illegally.
matter what I'm doing?
Judge Dennis Maroney fined him $442. No jail time. You can probably guess what happened next.
So how are you going to get home? Because this is your car, right?
I'm finna drive.
That's right.
He just doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He racks up the charges in a just real normal world. And he's clearly a menace. He's like running through reds.
Yeah.
In a just normal world, this guy would get pulled over and his car would be impounded every time.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like
And he would stop driving.
You lost your privilege. This is like a guy with 10 DUIs. It's like, how did you even get to this point?
Yeah. And they say 2-tiered justice system. That's it right
That's
there.
the other tier, guys.
That's the other tier. He can do whatever he wants, and I'm assuming people don't want to be called racist or enforce the law because they don't want to be racist.
They think he doesn't know any better or something, I guess.
Which is like crazy, like bigotry of low expectations.
Yeah, it's charity criminal justice.
Where it's like, he doesn't know much. He's kind of just like an idiot. We gotta be easy on him.
No remorse. Yo, you can suck my dick.
Yeah.
Eloquent, a poet of our generation. He let him off.
Put him in jail.
Yeah, no, I mean, this guy should be literally in jail, and then it's like escalate it every time. You just have nothing. You just have access to a shitty car.
Yeah.
No license, no insurance, no registration. Nah, I ain't got none of that. Tells it to the cop and laughs.
Not even trying.
Wait until he kills someone. It's going to happen. Someone's going to die or get seriously injured in a car accident, right?
Yep, exactly. All right, moving on. That's the end of Urban Decay. There's one more clip that we're going to do in Bonus Land about a bus driver resigning. We have some good bus driver stories in Bonus Land. We're moving on to Uplifting Gold. Don't get too down. Don't get too depressed. Uplifting Gold is here. This week's Uplifting Gold is brought to you by the Free Big Don shirt. Again, guys, please buy this shirt. It's amazing. It's not going to be around forever, and it's a timepiece. Fleccasmerch.com.
All right.
Wrestling Coach Toss, the first one. So this kid just wins a wrestling match, shakes the hands. Oh, and he gets tossed himself. That's good stuff.
They got a little routine, 2 coaches. I like it.
That's good Americana right there.
Yeah.
You challenge your coach, but the coach still has you beat. Right?
Right. You got there, buddy.
All right, let's go to the proposal tackle.
Yeah, this guy tries to propose. He runs onto the field at a baseball game, Dodger Stadium.
This is great camera work, by the way. You'll see the moment. He gets down on one knee, goes to the lady. Oh, he just gets absolutely wrecked. And that ring's probably on the grass somewhere.
And they're cuffing him. The ring's probably on the ground. You got blown up holding the ring. Nobody cares about where the ring is.
That's bad.
That's bad.
That's good action, though.
That guy saw his hit stick opportunity and said, I'm lowering my shoulder. It's time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go to the fat baseball kid with the bad attitude.
Swing it, Curtis.
Nice swing. So he gets on base somehow, and now he's running home. Oh.
Here comes the slide. The slide's more of a slip.
Yep.
But that's good action. That's good Americana.
What, being morbidly obese at age 10 and barely being able to run from third to home? Is that good Americana?
That's what we're up to.
All right.
Baseball.
Okay. Morbidly obese baseball.
That's what our baseball looks like these days.
Classic.
Let's go to the guys on the roof of the building. Damn, dog. See, this is content.
Yeah, some urban explorers.
One guy has a mask on. See, this is good content at least.
At least they're doing something risky.
Yeah.
I am so scared of heights.
I don't like that kind of stuff.
I would never do this.
Even for the most money?
I guess for the most money is the only time I do it, but I am very scared of heights, and I get this thing probably where I try to get low to the ground and then get like sweaty palms. I got sweaty palms just watching.
When you watch that, do you feel like that fall forward feeling of like, oh
yeah, and I don't like it.
Me too.
Someone wanted me to hike Half Dome in Yosemite. They wanted me to hike Half Dome, and then I saw it, and I know like people can enjoy it, but I just knew I wouldn't enjoy it at all. It's like you're going past tourists and you're kind of on that rope line.
Yeah.
That's like, I have zero interest in like feeling the thrill of being up on a cliff or something.
Yeah, I don't do shit like that for that reason.
So,
all right, let's move on. The descendants of... Actually, let's do the girl who scares the people.
Yeah, this is a TikTok girl who we kind of like.
Yeah, we like this TikTok girl.
She did You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog, that one.
Yeah.
So here's her content.
This is good content.
Will you hold my phone so I can make a quick TikTok? Thank you so much. It's already recording and ready to go. Thank you, kind soul.
Oh, man. That's good.
That's good shit.
That's real good shit.
All right.
Nothing prepared, nothing to say. Just that's good shit.
That girl's content is pretty solid. That's all.
At least someone's doing it. And then listen to the last clip this is the last clip of Uplifting Gold, Descendants of Thomas Jefferson. This is very interesting.
Did you know that the President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, had more than one family?
We are the 7th great-grandchildren of Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings.
I'm 8th generation descendant of Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings.
I am the 4 times great-granddaughter of Thomas Jefferson.
I am the 4th great-granddaughter.
I'm the 4th great-grandson of Sally Hemings and Thomas Jefferson.
I'm a 9th generation descendant.
I'm the 5th great-grandson.
I'm the 5th great-granddaughter.
I am the 6th great-grandson of President Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings.
That guy looks like him.
Yeah, he does. And you can...
That's cool.
You can tell who went white and who stayed black.
Yeah.
There were a couple of guys that grandma and that other guy were like basically totally white.
Yeah. That's cool how it goes all the way like that. And then we come from the people that made the whole country.
Yeah. I like that.
That's really nice.
And Thomas Jefferson also had that dog in him. Yeah. I'd like to report. He was just getting it every which way.
Yeah, that was back in a time when you really could just...
You had a plot of land.
Do whatever you want on the land.
Had some slave quarters.
You have children, however you have children. You live to be 50, and you kind of just have one run, and you do as much as you can.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
All right, that's the end of the episode.
Shout out Thomas Jeff.
Another Fleccas Talks in the books. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleccasMerch.com for the best merch in the game. Get your My Patriot supply as well. We have a little bit of an outro shout out. A newborn baby was watching the show. This was sent to me. Always appreciated. Thank you guys for sending that in.
Yeah, he wasn't watching the show as much as he was being shown
forced.
Yeah,
he was being shown the show.
Yeah.
They also blurred his face so no one could ID the baby.
Smart.
I've never been able to ID a baby.
I can't place one baby with another. So
yeah. So thank you for sending that in. That's very cool. Make sure you guys send in your shout outs and all the things that you think I would like so I can show them on the show. Join Bonus Land if you're here at this point. You know we have Bonus Land coming up. If you're here at this point, you're probably here at this point every week, and you're probably hesitating to join Bonus Land for whatever reason. Some people message me and go, hey, I don't get paid until Friday, but when I do, I'm buying a shirt. Don't buy a shirt if that's how it is. Save that money for yourself. Maybe message me and I'll give some of you guys some free shirts, but yeah.
Some type of discount. Let's not wait for paychecks to get Fleccas merch.
We don't want that. And if you're going to wait for a paycheck to do a $4 Bonus Land, we don't want that either. You're not allowed in. Is that mad?
No, I mean, it's like we're encouraging good financial decisions, guys. Like save a penny.
Save the money. And then if you really want to watch Bonus Land and you have no money, shoot me a DM on the side and I'll send you a couple free ones. All right, cool. That's the end of the show. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you at the next one.